8-month pregnant black lady thrown out on Christmas Eve by in-laws. Unknowingly knocks on Mafia boss door. On Christmas night, 8 months pregnant, Amara Okonkwo stumbled through the snow with a broken suitcase and nowhere to go. Her coat was too thin, her belly too heavy. Just hours earlier, she had a home, a husband, a future. Now her in-laws had thrown her out like trash, calling her an adulteress, calling her unborn child a bastard, and showing her a hotel video of a night she couldn't remember. She walked until her legs gave out. She stopped in front of massive iron gates, the only house on the street with lights still on. She pressed the intercom, voice breaking. "Please, I just need somewhere warm. Just for tonight." The gates opened. She didn't know she had just knocked on the door of Seoul's most dangerous man, an Italian-Korean mafia king who had been searching for her for 8 months. And now he had found her. Because the man in that hotel video, the one whose face was hidden, was him. "You," Amara whispered, clutching her stomach. "You raped me." "I did not," Luca de Luca said coldly. "But I swear this, whoever set you up will beg to die." What Amara didn't know was that the person who destroyed her life was closer than she ever imagined. And when the truth comes out, it will shatter everything she believes. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications, because the story only gets darker from here. But let us go back to where it all started. The black woman, 8 months pregnant, Amara Okonkwo, stumbled through the snow on Christmas night. Her coat was too thin, her belly was too heavy, and the suitcase she dragged behind her had a broken wheel. Hours ago she had a home, a husband, a future. Now she had nothing. Her in-laws had thrown her out like garbage, calling her an adulteress, calling her unborn child a bastard, showing her video evidence of a night she could not remember. She walked until she could not walk anymore. She stopped in front of massive iron gates, the only house on the street with lights still on. She pressed the intercom, voice breaking. "Please, I just need somewhere warm. Just for tonight. Please." The gates opened. She did not know she had just knocked on the door of Seoul's most dangerous man, the Italian-Korean mafia king who had been searching for her for 8 months. And he had just found her. Before we begin, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Turn on notifications so you do not miss part 2. Now let us begin. Christmas Day was supposed to be magical. Amara Okonkwo had spent the entire morning cooking. Her feet ached. Her back screamed for rest. But she did not care. She wanted everything to be perfect. The kitchen smelled like heaven. Jollof rice with the perfect smoky flavor sat warming on the stove. Fried plantains glistened golden and crispy on a serving plate. She had also prepared Korean dishes. Bulgogi marinated overnight. Japchae with perfectly softened glass noodles. Fresh kimchi arranged in a crystal bowl. 3 years of marriage. 3 years of trying to blend her Nigerian roots with her husband's Korean heritage. 3 years of trying to prove she belonged. She hummed Christmas carols as she set the dining table. The tree sparkled in the corner, decorated with ornaments she had chosen herself. Snow fell gently outside the window, painting the world white. Amara paused to rest her hand on her swollen belly. 8 months pregnant. In just a few weeks, she would be holding her baby. Their baby. The child that would finally make her a true member of the Park family. Or so she thought. The front door opened. Amara looked up with a bright smile, expecting her husband to walk in alone. Instead, Jae-won Park entered with his entire family behind him. His parents, his 2 siblings, all of them staring at her with faces carved from stone. Her smile faltered. "Dinner is almost ready. I made all your favorites." She gestured toward the kitchen, pretending not to notice the tension. "I even attempted your grandmother's recipe for the japchae. I hope I did it justice." "Shut up." The words sliced through the air like a blade. They came from her mother-in-law, Madame Park, a woman who had never once called Amara by her name in 3 years of marriage. Amara blinked, her hand instinctively moving to her belly. What?" Her father-in-law stepped forward. His face was red with barely contained rage. In his hand he held a tablet, the screen facing toward her. "Did you think we would not find out? Did you think you could pass off another man's bastard as our grandson?" The words did not make sense. Amara shook her head slowly. I do not understand. What are you talking about? This. He thrust the tablet toward her. This is what we are talking about. The screen lit up. Video footage began to play. A hotel room. Dim lighting. Security camera angle from above. A woman stumbling through the door, clearly intoxicated. She could barely stand. A man emerged from the shadows, catching her before she fell. His face stayed hidden, always turned away from the camera. But hers did not. Amara watched herself on that screen. Watched as her clothes came off. Watched as she fell into bed with a faceless stranger. Watched as their bodies intertwined in ways that made her stomach lurch. The date stamp in the corner read 8 months ago. Her legs gave out. She grabbed the edge of the dining table, knocking over a glass that shattered against the floor. That is not. I have never. I do not remember this. Of course you do not remember. Her sister-in-law Sumin stepped forward, lip curled in disgust. You were too busy whoring yourself out to remember. We always knew you were trash. Her brother-in-law added. We warned J1 not to marry a black woman. We told him your kind could not be trusted. Now look what you have done. You have humiliated our entire family. Amara's mind raced desperately. 8 months ago. What happened 8 months ago? Then it hit her. The charity gala. The one her younger sister Chioma had begged her to attend. Chioma had an important business connection there. Someone she needed to impress. She asked Amara to come for moral support. Amara remembered arriving at the gala. She remembered the champagne. 1 glass. Maybe 2. The bubbles tickling her nose. Chioma laughing at something across the room. Then nothing. Absolutely nothing. She woke up the next morning in a hotel room. Alone. Fully clothed on a couch. Her head pounded. Her mouth was dry. She was confused and ashamed of how drunk she must have been. Chioma told her she found her passed out in a hallway and put her in a room to sleep it off. Amara had been too embarrassed to question it. Too ashamed of her apparent weakness for alcohol. But now, watching this video, watching herself do things she had no memory of doing. I was drugged. The words tumbled out of her mouth. I had to have been drugged. I do not remember any of this. Please, you have to believe me. Enough lies. J1 finally spoke. His voice was cold. Colder than she had ever heard it. He looked at her like she was a stranger. No, worse than a stranger. Like she was filth. J1, please. She reached for him. I love you. I would never betray you. This baby is yours. I swear on my life, on my mother's grave, on everything I hold sacred. He stepped back, avoiding her touch like it would burn him. I want a divorce, and I want you out of my house. Now. The words hit her like a physical blow. She staggered backward. Please. She fell to her knees, grabbing at his hands. Please, J1. It is Christmas. I have nowhere to go. I am 8 months pregnant. Our baby. He yanked his hands away. That thing inside you is not my child. Get out. Madam Park snapped her fingers. 2 household staff members appeared, dragging a suitcase. Amara's suitcase. Already packed. Wait. Amara sobbed. Wait, please. Just let me explain. There has to be an explanation. Someone did this to me. Someone set me up. Madam Park smiled. It was the cruelest expression Amara had ever seen. You should have thought about the consequences before you spread your legs for another man. She turned to the staff. Throw her out. They grabbed her arms. Amara screamed, thrashing, trying to break free. Her belly made it impossible to fight properly. The baby kicked frantically inside her, sensing its mother's distress. J1. She screamed his name as they dragged her toward the door. J1, please. Look at me. Look at me. He turned his back. The front door opened. Cold air rushed in. Snow swirled against her face. They threw her out into the night. Her suitcase landed beside her, one will cracking on impact. The door slammed shut. Locks clicked into place. And just like that, in the span of 30 minutes, Amara Okonkwo lost everything. She sat in the snow for a long time. Minutes, maybe hours. The cold seeped through her thin coat, through her dress, through her skin until it reached her bones. Christmas lights twinkled from every house on the street. Carols played from somewhere nearby. Through windows, She could see families gathered around trees, exchanging gifts, laughing, loving each other. And she was alone. Her phone had died sometime during the confrontation. Her wallet was in her suitcase, but she was too numb to check how much cash she had. Not that it mattered. No hotel would take a crying, pregnant black woman on Christmas night without asking questions she could not answer. Eventually, survival instinct kicked in. The baby kicked again, harder this time, as if demanding she get up. As if reminding her that she was not just responsible for herself anymore. Amara pulled herself to her feet. She grabbed her broken suitcase, and she started walking. She did not know where she was going. She did not have a plan. She just walked. The snow fell harder. Her fingers went numb first, then her toes. Her pregnant belly felt impossibly heavy, throwing off her balance with every step. Several times she nearly fell. Each time she caught herself, hand flying to protect the child inside her. She tried calling out to people. A couple walking their dog hurried past without making eye contact. A man getting into his car pretended not to hear her. A woman looked at her dark skin and swollen belly and tear-streaked face, and walked faster in the opposite direction. Nobody wanted to help. Nobody cared. By midnight, Amara was barely conscious. The cold had stopped hurting. That scared her more than the pain had. She knew from somewhere, from some documentary she had watched years ago, that when the cold stopped hurting, it meant you were dying. Her legs gave out on a quiet, wealthy street. Mansions lined both sides, hidden behind high walls and iron gates. The kind of neighborhood where people paid for privacy. The kind of place that did not welcome strangers. Every house was dark, gated, silent, except one. At the end of the street, a massive estate loomed behind wrought iron gates. Warm light glowed from the windows. A Christmas tree was visible through the glass, tall and golden and beautiful. Someone was home. Someone was awake. Amara dragged herself up. Step by agonizing step, she made her way toward those gates. There was an intercom. Camera. A small red light blinking in the darkness. She pressed the button with frozen fingers. Please. Her voice was barely a whisper. Please, I am pregnant. I just need somewhere warm. Just for one night. Please help me. Silence. She pressed again. Nothing. Her legs buckled. She slid down against the iron gate, her body finally giving up. Snow collected on her shoulders, in her hair, on her eyelashes. The cold wrapped around her like a shroud. This is it, she thought. I am going to die here, on Christmas night, pregnant and alone, and no one will even know. She closed her eyes. The baby kicked one more time, weaker now. I am sorry, she whispered to her belly. I am so sorry. I tried. Then the gates opened. Inside the mansion, Luca de Luca stood at his study window, watching the security feed on his phone. He was half Italian, half Korean. A dangerous combination that had made him an outsider in both worlds until he carved out his own empire with blood and bullets. At 32 years old, he was the youngest boss the Seoul underworld had ever seen. His name made politicians sweat and police commissioners take early retirement. He did not celebrate Christmas. He did not celebrate anything. Holidays meant nothing to him except an opportunity to catch his enemies off guard. But when the security alert pinged, something made him check the footage. A woman at his gate, black, heavily pregnant, crying in the snow. His first instinct was suspicion. A trap. A test. Someone sent to get inside his defenses. Then she collapsed, and he saw her face clearly for the first time. His blood froze in his veins. He knew that face. 8 months ago, the charity gala. He had attended to finalize a weapons deal. Afterward, one of his associates sent a gift to his hotel suite. A woman, beautiful, already waiting in his bed when he arrived. She was intoxicated, but willing, eager even, or so he thought. He did not force anything. He never had to. But the next morning, she was gone. No note, no name, no trace except rumpled sheets and the faint scent of her perfume on his pillow. He searched for her for weeks, then months. Other matters demanded his attention and eventually, he let it go. But he never forgot her face. Now here she was, at his door. 8 months pregnant, crying in the snow on Christmas night. 8 months. The math was not complicated. Luca moved faster than he had moved in years. He grabbed his coat. He barked orders into his phone. Open the gates. Get Dr. Bianchi here immediately. I do not care that it is Christmas. Triple her fee. Get her here now. His men scrambled to obey. Luca was already out the door. The cold hit him like a wall, but he did not slow down. He reached the gates just as they finished opening. She was there, crumpled against the iron bars, snow covering her like a blanket. He knelt beside her, pressing 2 fingers to her throat. Her pulse was weak but present. Her skin was ice cold. Wake up. He tapped her cheek lightly. Wake up. Open your eyes. Her eyelids fluttered. Dark brown eyes, glassy and unfocused, looked up at him without recognition. Can you hear me? What is your name? Her lips moved, barely a whisper. Amara. Amara. He tested the name. Fit her. He slid one arm beneath her knees, the other behind her back, and lifted her effortlessly from the snow. You are going to be fine. Do you understand? I am going to take care of you. She did not respond. Her head lolled against his chest, consciousness slipping away. Luca carried her through his gates, past his guards, into his mansion. The warmth inside was almost shocking after the cold. He brought her straight to a guest suite, laying her gently on the bed. Blankets, he ordered. Warm water bottles. Now, his staff moved like ghosts, efficient and silent. Luca stood over her, watching her shiver even in unconsciousness, watching her hands curl protectively around her pregnant belly. 8 months ago, he let her slip away. He would not make that mistake again. Amara woke to warmth. Real warmth. The kind that seeps into your bones and reminds you that you are still alive. She opened her eyes slowly. The ceiling above her was unfamiliar. High, ornate, expensive. She was lying in a bed softer than anything she had ever felt. Silk sheets, mountain of pillows, a fire crackling in a marble fireplace across the room. She shot upright, hands flying to her belly. The baby is fine. The voice came from the corner. Deep, calm, dangerous. A man sat in a leather armchair watching her. He was devastatingly handsome in a way that felt almost threatening. Sharp jaw, dark hair pushed back from his face. Eyes so dark they seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. A thin scar ran through his left eyebrow, the only imperfection on an otherwise perfect face. He wore a black shirt, sleeves rolled to his elbows, revealing tattoos that disappeared under the fabric. Even sitting still, he radiated power, the kind of power that made the air feel heavy. Amara pressed herself against the headboard. Who are you? Where am I? You knocked on my door. He tilted his head slightly. You begged for help. Do you not remember? Fragments came back to her. The snow. The cold. The intercom. A voice. Gates opening. She swallowed hard. I remember. I am sorry. I did not mean to intrude. I will leave. I just need. You collapsed in the snow 8 months pregnant on Christmas night. His voice was flat. You are not going anywhere. Something about his tone made her freeze. It was not a suggestion. It was not even a command. It was simply a statement of fact. Please. Her voice trembled. I do not want any trouble. I just need to find somewhere to stay until I figure things out. If you could just call me a taxi. He stood slowly. Even that simple movement carried a predatory grace that made her pulse spike. You have been unconscious for 6 hours. My doctor examined you. Your blood pressure was dangerously low. You were showing early signs of hypothermia. If you had stayed in that snow another 30 minutes, you and your baby would be dead. Amara's throat tightened. He walked toward the bed, stopping at a respectful distance. So no, I am not calling you a taxi. I am not letting you walk back into the cold. And I am not letting you leave until you tell me how the wife of J1 Park ended up dying on my doorstep on Christmas night. Her blood ran cold. How do you know who my husband is? I know many things. He studied her face with an intensity that made her want to look away, but she forced herself to hold his gaze. What I do not know is why his family threw you out. What I do not know is why you were wandering the streets alone. And what I do not know is who the father of that child really is. The words hit like bullets. Amara's composure shattered. Everything she had been holding in since that door slammed in her face came pouring out. The accusations, the video, her husband's cold eyes, her mother-in-law's cruel smile, the snow, the walking, the doors that would not open, the people who looked away. She told him everything. By the time she finished, tears were streaming down her face and her voice was raw. They called my baby a bastard. She pressed her hands against her belly. They called me a whore. I do not even remember that night. I swear I do not remember. I would never cheat. I loved him. I loved him so much. The man listened without moving, without interrupting, without offering empty comfort. When silence finally fell, he spoke. The charity gala. 8 months ago. You were there. Amara looked up, startled. How did you know that? Who brought you? My sister, Chioma. She had a business meeting. She wanted me there for support. And after the gala? What do you remember? Nothing. Her voice cracked. I had 1 drink. Maybe 2. Then everything went blank. I woke up alone in a hotel room the next morning. Chioma said she found me passed out and put me there to sleep it off. The man's jaw tightened almost imperceptibly. The man in the video. You said you do not remember him. I do not remember anything. I do not know who he is. I do not know how I ended up in that room. I do not know. She stopped. Something in his expression had changed. Something cold had crept into his eyes. Why are you asking me this? Her voice dropped to a whisper. Why do you care about that night? Silence stretched between them. Then he spoke. Because I was there. At the same gala. And afterward, a woman was sent to my suite. Amara stopped breathing. What? A woman. Beautiful. Black. Already in my bed when I arrived. Intoxicated but willing. I did not know her name. She was gone by morning. The room tilted. The walls closed in. Amara's hands flew to her mouth. No. The timing matches exactly. No. 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 If what you are saying is true. If you were drugged. Then we were both set up. And that child. He did not finish. He did not have to. Amara scrambled off the bed so fast she nearly fell. She backed away until she hit the wall, her entire body shaking. Stay away from me. I am not going to hurt you. You raped me. I did not. His voice cracked like thunder. I have never in my life forced myself on a woman. Never. You were in that room before I arrived. You reached for me. You pulled me close. I thought you wanted to be there. How do I know you are telling the truth? You do not. He took a step back, giving her space. But ask yourself this. If I wanted to hurt you, would I have brought you into my home? Would I have called a doctor? Would I have sat by your bedside for 6 hours making sure you did not die? Amara's chest heaved. Her mind raced. Nothing made sense. Everything made sense. The pieces were falling into place in a pattern she did not want to see. Someone drugged me, she whispered. Someone put me in your bed. Someone filmed it. And then someone made sure my husband's family got that video. Yes. Why? That is what I intend to find out. His eyes darkened. And when I do, whoever orchestrated this will beg for death before I am finished with them. The threat should have terrified her. Instead, she felt something she had not felt since Christmas morning. Safe. Who are you? She asked quietly. Really? Who are you? My name is Luca de Luca. The name hit her like a truck. Everyone in Seoul knew that name. Everyone feared it. The Mafia boss. Her voice was barely audible. The one they call the Devil of Seoul. Some call me that. Oh God. She slid down the wall, legs giving out. Oh God. Oh God. He crouched in front of her, close but not touching. I am not going to hurt you, Amara. He said her name like it meant something. You showed up at my door carrying what might be my child. That makes you mine to protect. And I protect what is mine. I am not yours. You are now. His voice left no room for argument. Until we know the truth. Until whoever did this is dealt with. You stay here. You stay safe. And no one touches you again. The baby kicked. Hard. Like it was agreeing with him. Over the next 48 hours, Luca's network moved like a machine. Every camera angle from the hotel was pulled. Every staff member who worked that night was identified and questioned. Bank records were traced. Phone calls were logged. Emails were hacked. The pieces came together faster than even Luca expected. The video had been sent to the Park family from an anonymous email, but the IP address traced back to a location near Chioma Okonkwo's business office. The hotel staff who worked the VIP floor that night had been paid triple their usual rates, in cash, by an unnamed event coordinator matching Chioma's description. And Chioma's struggling business had received a massive investment 7 months ago from a shell company connected to the Park family's biggest rivals. Luca sat in his study, staring at the evidence spread across his desk. The sister. It was the sister all along. Amara was in the living room when her phone rang. Luca had retrieved it from her suitcase and charged it overnight. She stared at the screen. The caller ID showed Chioma with a heart emoji. Her finger hovered over the button. "Answer it," Luca said from across the room. "But be careful what you say." Amara picked up. "Amara. Oh, thank God." Chioma's voice was frantic. "Perfect. Rehearsed. I have been looking everywhere for you. Where are you? I went to the Park house and they said they threw you out. I have been worried sick. I am safe. Where? Tell me where. I will come get you right now." Amara hesitated. "I am staying with a friend." "What friend? You do not have friends in Seoul." "Amara, please just tell me where you are. I am your sister. Let me help you. Why did you insist I come to that gala, Chioma?" Silence on the other end. "What? The charity gala. 8 months ago. You begged me to come, but you disappeared halfway through the night. Where did you go?" "I told you. The business meeting ran long. When I came back you were passed out. I put you in a room to sleep it off." "What room?" "I do not remember the exact number. It was 8 months ago. How did I get from that room to a couch fully clothed?" Another pause. "Longer this time. I do not know what you are talking about. Amara, you are scaring me. This pregnancy has made you paranoid." "Chioma." Amara's voice hardened. "Who filmed me?" Dead silence. "Filmed you? What are you?" "The Park family has a video of me in a hotel room with a man I do not remember. From that night. Someone filmed it. Someone sent it to them. And the only person who knew where I was that night was you. That is ridiculous. You are my sister. I would never." "Then explain how they got the video." "I do not know. Maybe someone hacked security footage. Maybe." Amara hung up. Her hands were shaking. Luca crossed the room and gently took the phone from her. "She is lying." Amara's voice was hollow. I could hear it in her voice. "She is lying to me. I know. Why? Why would she do this to me? I am finding out. But I already have some answers." He showed her the evidence. The bank transfers. The shell company. The payments to hotel staff. The timeline that matched too perfectly to be coincidence. By the time he finished, Amara was sobbing. "She sold me. My own sister sold me. Yes. For money. For money. And revenge." "Revenge? For what?" Luca pulled up one final document. A psychiatric evaluation from years ago. Sealed records that his people had unsealed. "Your sister has resented you for a long time. According to her therapist, she believes you stole everything from her. Your parents' love, their attention, their resources. When you married into wealth, it broke something inside her. That is insane. I would have helped her. I would have given her anything. She did not want your help." Luca's voice was quiet. "She wanted your destruction." Amara buried her face in her hands. Before she could respond, an alarm blared through the mansion. Luca was on his feet instantly. Phone pressed to his ear. "What is it?" His expression hardened as he listened. "The Park family. They are at the gate. With lawyers. They found me. They are not getting in." He moved toward the door. "Stay here. Do not come out. No matter what you hear." "Luca." He paused. "Do not kill them," she whispered. "Please. I do not want blood on my hands." He looked at her for a long moment. "I will try." Then he was gone. The confrontation at the gate was brief. Madame Park demanded her property back. She claimed Amara was mentally unstable. She threatened lawyers and police and international incidents. Luca listened to it all with the patience of a snake watching a mouse. Then he spoke. "Your daughter-in-law came to my door dying in the snow. You threw her out on Christmas night, 8 months pregnant with nowhere to go. You called her a whore. You called her child a bastard. And now you want her back? We have reconsidered. Madam Park's voice was strained. We believe she may have been influenced. We are willing to forgive her. Forgive her. Luca smiled. It was not a kind smile. Forgive her for what exactly? Her indiscretions. The indiscretions she does not remember? The ones captured on a video that was conveniently delivered to you at the perfect moment? The lawyers shifted uncomfortably. J1 stepped forward. Look, I do not know who you are, but Amara is my wife. Legally, I have every right. You have no rights here. The temperature dropped. This is my property. You are trespassing. The woman inside is under my protection. If you want to speak to her, you can do so through her lawyer once she gets one. If you want custody of the child, take it to family court. But if you take one more step toward my door. He did not finish the sentence. He did not have to. J1 Park looked into Luca de Luca's eyes and saw something that made his blood turn to ice. Let us go, he muttered, grabbing his mother's arm. But, now, they retreated. As their car disappeared down the street, Luca made a call. Destroy them. Stocks, reputation, business deals, everything. Make them regret the day they touched what is mine. Within 24 hours, the Park family empire began to crumble. News outlets ran stories about bribery and tax evasion. Stock prices plummeted. The merger they had been counting on collapsed. Investors fled like rats from a sinking ship. And in the middle of the chaos, J1 received a message. You threw away something precious. Now watch me take everything else. 1 week later, the DNA results came back. Luca opened the envelope in front of Amara. He read it once, twice. Then he looked at her. It is mine. The words hung in the air. 99.97% probability of paternity. Oh God. Amara pressed her hands to her belly. Oh God. Luca knelt before her. Amara, listen to me. This does not change what I said. I will protect you. I will protect our child. Whether you want me in your life or not. Whether you can ever forgive me for what happened that night. I will make sure you never suffer again. She looked at him through tears. I do not know how to feel about any of this. You do not have to know yet. He took her hand gently. You just have to know you are not alone anymore. For the first time in weeks, she breathed. But somewhere across the city, in the basement of one of Luca's properties, Chioma Okonkwo sat in a locked room. She had been there for 7 days. Federal watered. Unharmed. But watched. Always watched. Then on the 7th night, the power went out. A figure slipped into her cell. Quiet. I am getting you out. Who are you? Someone who needs what you know. About De Luca. About the video. About the child. Chioma's eyes gleamed in the darkness. And what do I get? Your life. And a chance to finish what you started. She smiled. Deal. The gates opened. The figure led her to a waiting car. They disappeared into the night. Back at the mansion, Amara slept peacefully, unaware that her nightmare was far from over. Luca's phone rang. He answered. His face went cold. She escaped. Find her, and whoever helped her escape. Bring them to me alive. I want answers before they die. He hung up. Through the window he watched the snow fall. Somewhere out there, enemies were circling. Somewhere out there, Chioma was planning her next move. Somewhere out there, the real game was just beginning. He looked toward Amara's room. They would have to go through him first. And Luca de Luca had never lost a war. Part 2 coming soon. Who helped Chioma escape? What do they want with Luca's child? And can Amara survive what is coming next? Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you do not miss part 2. And drop a Christmas tree emoji in the comments if you are ready for what happens next.